So now service Thomas Tuchel, and I will be able to watch the tennis match after that press conference. So the press conference ahead of our game against Augsburg. We're back in football, not with tennis, so let's start with the questions. Before we come to Augsburg, other news in football, Jürgen Klopp said he is going to quit at Liverpool. Well, I have to digest that first. I cannot say any smart things about it. Well, he said the reason was he doesn't have any energy anymore. Well, I really can feel that, but I still have to get used to that first. I just heard the news a couple of minutes ago, and I have to digest that first.
Daran werde ich mich eine ganze Weile jetzt erstmal gewöhnen müssen.
And I really have to get used to that first, because it was an incredible unit, and Kloppo is one of the very, very best coaches in the world, and he always managed to, wherever he was, to influence the clubs that he was, whether it was Mainz, Dortmund or Liverpool. Now it was a real unity, and I experienced that in England myself, and that is a real shocker of a news. Let's look at the players. How is Joshua Kimmich doing? Will he be missing for a longer time, or will he be ready for the weekend? No chance for the weekend. We have to rest the shoulder first, and then we see from week to week how he heals and how his pain is. But it's very difficult to really make a statement about the longevity of that injury. Can you elaborate the situation with Conny Leimer and Upamecano, how long they're going to be out? Will Upamecano be an option for Lazio in 2 to 3 weeks? And will Sasha Boye be a player of Bayern Munich today? Well, I think no player will be acquired today of Bayern Munich, and I can only warn you to look ahead to Lazio Rome, because our Lazio Rome is at Augsburg tomorrow. There is no different importance about the games that are coming up, and so we cannot talk about games in the future, because it might be important to be fit against Lazio, because we have Leverkusen ahead of that, we have Leipzig ahead of that, but I cannot think that far ahead, and it's going to be a long layoff for Conny and Upa. Upa made every game so far for us, and that is making this even tougher. So we try to compensate his loss, and that is going to be the task for tomorrow. And that's what we are working on. We know what's ahead, we know what we want to do and what Augsburg is trying to do. And that's why we feel well prepared, but this is really tough after this game against Union. Congratulations. It's the birthday of the guy who's asking the next question. Mr. Tuchel, you were just saying that the task ahead is clear. Are you going to make a 1-1 switch with Guerrero coming for Tuchel, or will you switch to 3 at the back, or have Goretzka at the back? Well, we don't have midfielders as well, because Josh is not going to play, Conny is not going to be able to play, so I don't know whether we will switch Leon back to a centre-back again, because then we only have one midfielder left with Alex Pavlovic. And what are we going to do then? A 3-1-5-2 or something? I don't know whether that's going to help us to make a complete new setup 2 days after the last game and 1 day ahead of the next game. I really don't see that, so we're not going to do that. Bearing a very crazy night ahead of us, but As far as I can tell, Leon and Alex are going to play in midfield, and Eric is going to play in central defense with Mata. There are no other parts that we can play with and try to put together, and they have our trust and they're going to play. I'm not going to tell you anything more. Another question? Kind of different question away from football. How do you rate the chances of the German handball team tonight? Well, I'd say whoever makes the semi-final will be playing for the title and has a real chance. I hope that they can keep on riding the wave, which like they had in the past. We are going to watch it. We are going to cross our fingers from all the players and all our staff. Are wishing them the best. And Zverev is playing in the semifinals of the Australian Open, which we also are watching. Handball, they are really playing a great home European Cup, and I hope it continues. Well, I'm the wrong guy to ask a question about what makes the German handball national team strong. They are very emotional. They're a unit. They are trying to use the advantage of the home court, and it's a very emotional, very tough sport, and you can only make it through the team spirit. And so back to football now. Another question to Joshua Kimmich. You're going to rest the shoulder. Does that mean you are trying to heal that conservatively and not by an operation? Yes. You weren't at Bayern Munich when they last played at Augsburg. They lost twice there. How is it for you as a coach? Do you say, well, that was before my time, I'm not going to get too much into that? Or since you know that there a couple of players that are still in the team were there again, well, we cannot let them at home, those players, just because we lost there. We are going to win the game tomorrow, and we're not going to care about the things from the past. It's only about tomorrow. We have the duty to deliver, and that's what we're going to do. Another question about the Union game with Bielica and Sané. The coach said Sané had been provoking him. A couple of players said that Sané was clever in provoking him. What is your take on that situation? Well, I think it's not getting the point if we talk about Sané being clever in that situation, because that's just not the case in that situation. I would like us to analyze the situation according to the pictures that we have and not put Leroy into the mix. They have made a decision, and there's not much more to say about it. So, last question. A question about Eric Dyer. How would you rate him after his debut, and how is he integrating into the team? Well, he didn't have too much time. He's very experienced. He's a personality, and we just threw him into the cold water, really. He had to leave the training camp in Portugal early because his wife was giving birth to his child, and it really had to go really quickly. And sometimes it's the best if you don't have too much time to think about things, but just starting to do this because we didn't have to search for the right time to integrate him. We don't have to think about him playing in 3 at the back or 4 at the back. He's going to be a central defender with Mata. He's really alert. He's really clear in his situations. And we're going to trust him. He's going to play a good game tomorrow. question about new acquisitions. You said that it's not going to be happening anything today. Are you fearing that it's going to be just as close as it was in the summer when players flying in and it's still not happening? Well, everything is possible. We are working on those things that are making sense for us. We're not going to let us be driven from injury situations. We trust into our strength. We trust into the players that we have. And we have a couple of weeks of layoff for those players, but not months. And we hope that the two players that we have at the Africa Cup and Asia Cup are going to come back unscathed, and the transfer windows are going to get more complicated, particularly the winter, and everybody is looking at it. They are under a lot of scrutiny, and that doesn't make it easier. There are so many parties involved, and it's a very complex situation with a transfer, but I trust in what we do, and we're not going to be influenced by the circumstances too much if we're not convinced in a transfer. And well, it is what it is. We have the squad for tomorrow, and we trust in our squad. We're going to go to Augsburg. We're going to push the team through the game, and I'm really sure that we have everything we need in order to get an important away win tomorrow. And then we are back, and then we'll see what the next week will bring. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.